Welcome to the deep dive. This week, well, we're really gearing up for something significant. It feels like more than just a forecast. It's almost like an internal restructuring is on the cards.
That's a really good way to put it. The sources for October 6th through the 12th, they definitely signal high intensity, courage, and accountability are the big themes.
Right, and we have the usual day-by-day astrological forecast, but also that narrative piece, the story scope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I think is so helpful. It helps ground these like huge energetic themes in something relatable, an actual human experience.
Okay, so let's unpack the mission for this week. For you, the listener, it seems like it's really about testing your reality, doesn't it?
Looking hard at your routines, your relationships.
And trying to stop that habit of compromising yourself into resentment. We all do it sometimes.
You do. It's a tough pattern.
Yeah.
So the core question the sources pose is, are we ready? Are we ready to meet change with courage and integrity?
Because change is coming, ready or not.
Absolutely. And the sources warn us, actions and reactions this week, they're going to be quick, instinctive.
So expect maybe sudden things, surprising events.
Yeah, definitely look out for that. There's this restless energy, this real palpable need to break free from feeling restricted.
And it starts right away, doesn't it? Monday.
Right.
Big energy.
Huge. We kick off under this fiery, impatient, really impossible to ignore full moon in Aries.
Now, this isn't just any full moon, is it? There's context here.
Exactly. This is the climax. It's the peak of the lunar cycle that started way back with the new moon solar eclipse on September 21st.
Okay, so anything activated back then, personal stuff, work projects, relationship issues, it could all come to a head now, like a crisis point or a resolution.
That's the potential, yes.
Yeah.
A culmination. But with Aries energy, it's impulsive, right?
Right. Aries is very act first, think later. So how do we avoid that energy just, burning us out or leading to rash decisions we regret?
That's the challenge. The full moon brings things to light, forces revelations. But it also ignites these bold, impatient urges. The drive is for liberation, for pursuing desires with real fervor.
A leap of faith kind of energy?
Yes, exactly. A leap to break free. But the key is directing that leap towards genuine freedom, not just, smashing things for the sake of it.
And we see that play out with the StoryCope character, Leela.
We do. She's been using her routines like armor, kind of muffling this growing unease, avoiding tough conversations.
For months, it sounds like.
Yeah. And the source describes the full moonlight as swollen, making everything feel like it was burning gold. It created this undeniable pull to act.
An instinctive pull, it says. Not polite, not reasoned out.
No, not at all. It forced her to confront the habits that felt safe but weren't really working anymore, weren't leading to real happiness or progress.
Okay, so Monday lights the fire. Then what? The energy shifts pretty dramatically, right? From impulse to something deeper.
It does. We move from that spontaneous action into this intense period of truth-seeking. That's Mercury entering Scorpio.
Ah, Scorpio, deep dive territory. And that lasts for a while.
Through October 29th. So for the next 3 weeks or so, everything can feel like a mystery to unravel. It's time to follow the clues, seek truth.
Which means conversations get heavy.
Exponentially more weight. Yeah. People just won't have patience for anything superficial or fake.
We become more instinctive, less worried about being polite.
Definitely more instinctive.
Yeah.
Which can lead to some incredibly intense discussions. And importantly, words become really powerful, persuasive.
Or manipulative.
You have to be really mindful of that dynamic.
And that intensity really peaks on Tuesday. Mercury square Pluto.
It detonates, yeah. The source calls this aspect intense, obsessive, and radically revealing. This is when those private, maybe darker thoughts get stirred up.
Yeah.
Ready or not.
Sounds pretty draining, like walking on eggshells where every word feels loaded.
It can feel that way. Words as weapons, secrets slipping out in tense moments, maybe getting conflicting information.
Verbal power struggles seem likely too.
Very possible. It requires real emotional resilience. People might feel pushed to just unload a barrage of hard truths.
But the advice is...
Count to 10. Seriously. Don't let that immediate frustration wreck a relationship. Tempers might flare today and be totally fine tomorrow, but the boundary you set needs to be solid.
So aim for direct and respectful, not just a shouting match.
Exactly. An enduring boundary, not just venting.
That's a crucial distinction. Okay, so after that intense start to the week, Monday, Tuesday, we hit the middle and things get Complicated, contradictory even.
Yeah, it's almost like emotional whiplash, as you said. We get this little breather on Wednesday, thankfully. Venus sextile Jupiter.
Huh. Okay, softer energy.
Much softer. Warmth, generosity, cooperation. It makes romance feel more expansive, boosts optimism about connections.
Nice. And the actionable advice there is?
Lean into gratitude. Small gestures. The source actually suggests doing one thoughtful thing for someone today that doesn't benefit us directly.
I like that. A reminder that connection isn't always hard work.
Right. It's a lovely pause. But there's a caution, too.
Ah, okay. What's that?
With Jupiter involved, there's a temptation to overspend, maybe treat ourselves a bit too much, which is fine, unless it tips into excess or making, like, frivolous commitments.
Got it. So enjoy the warmth, but keep your feet on the ground financially.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Because that gentle energy is immediately complicated by something much deeper happening on the same day, Wednesday.
Oh, what's that?
The peak of the Chiron conjunct Eris alignment. And this isn't just a one-day thing. It's a long-term influence running basically all through 2025 and into early 2026.
Chiron and Eris. Okay, what does that conjunction bring up? Sounds potentially difficult.
It is. It tends to bring painful revelations, often linked to what the sources call immature masculine energies.
Okay, let's clarify that. Immature masculine energies. What does that actually look like in, everyday life, not just abstractly?
Think about the shadow side of assertion. So maybe it's a public figure engaging in bullying tactics, or that internal voice that pushes us to be right instead of empathetic. It's that self-centeredness, egotism, unchecked aggression, arrogance.
Anything putting the individual ego way above collective well-being or responsibility.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So on a personal level, you might see deep anger surfacing, maybe hidden traumas, old resentments coming up. Often it's triggered by seeing that lack of accountability out in the world, or maybe even in your own workplace.
Wow. So painful truths are coming out on a bigger scale.
They are. But here's the vital part for healing.
Yeah.
Wounds have to be exposed to be healed. That outrage you might feel, it can actually fuel productive action.
If channeled wisely.
If channeled wisely, yes. Not just reacting with more immaturity. It circles back to demanding that accountability the week started with.
It really sounds like this week is designed to put us through the ringer. You're meant to feel a bit wrung out by the end.
I think that's fair to say.
Ugh.
Which brings us perfectly to the weekend, which feels like a major reality check, hitting just when we're feeling raw.
Saturday. What's happening then?
Venus opposite Saturn. This shifts the focus squarely onto commitments, relationships, partnerships, money.
Okay, a reality check on those fronts. What's the core tension?
The source puts it really clearly. Are we striving for genuine connection, or are we actually striving for control?
Oof, that's a big question.
It is. This transit forces us to step back, try to get some objectivity. And there's a really profound insight in the source here. Perfectionism is ruining intimacy.
Wow. Say more about that. How does perfectionism get in the way?
Well, Saturn brings structure, consequences. When it opposes Venus, our values, love, connection, it exposes where our commitments might be based on fear of rejection, fear of losing control.
So we try to perfect everything, the relationship, the budget, until it feels sterile.
Exactly. Sterile is a good word. This opposition makes us renegotiate those commitments, pushes us towards vulnerability and taking responsibility, rather than trying to control outcomes.
And we need to be aware that our perspective during this time might be skewed, more pessimistic than reality warrants.
Very likely. That's
Yeah.
the Saturn shadow fear-based thinking. We have to check if our worries are grounded, in fact, or just fear.
Okay, and underlying all this intensity throughout the week, there's Pluto, right, doing its thing in the background.
Absolutely. Pluto's been very active, providing this deep background hum of transformation. The sources mentioned it reached its farthest out-of-bounds point recently on October 3rd.
Right, I saw that technical term. Can you just quickly explain out of bounds for listeners who might not know? What does that mean in practical terms?
Good question. It's a bit niche. Basically, when a planet goes out of bounds, its path takes it outside the normal range relative to the sun's path. Think of it like operating without the usual guardrails.
Okay, so its themes feel stronger, maybe more disruptive.
Exactly. For Pluto, that's power, control, transformation, detoxification. Those themes feel extra intense, maybe show up in unexpected ways.
So Pluto's amplifying the week's power struggles and transformation themes.
Precisely. And it's even more potent because Pluto stations direct, meaning it appears to stop and change direction from our view on Earth right after this week, on October 13th.
Which means?
Things that have been hidden, repressed, kept under wraps, they have to come to the surface now. This whole period, this week and next, is incredibly transformative.
Good to know. So looking just beyond this intense week, what are the key dates coming up? A little heads up for what's next.
Yeah, definitely. That transformative energy release around the 13th is significant. Still calls for some caution. Maybe around the 16th, too.
But there's some relief.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Look, for October 14th, the sources call it a potential golden day for love, values, connection. Much needed.
Okay. And later in October.
The new moon in Libra on the 21st offers a fresh start, especially for partnerships. And the 27th looks like a confidence boost. Green lights for moving forward. So yes, this week is a climb, but there's definitely steadier ground ahead.
So wrapping it all up, this week is fundamentally a journey, isn't it? Drawing boundaries, speaking truth, and kind of embracing the discomfort that comes with real growth.
That sums it up perfectly. And if we go back to Leela in the StoryScope one last time,
How did it resolve for her?
she found that change wasn't destruction. It was reclamation. Reclaiming her true self. She ends up standing firm, choosing love not as like desperate surrender, but as a courageous act of integrity.
It wasn't about winning or being perfect.
No, it was about choosing integrity, even when it was uncomfortable. That tension between honesty and tenderness defines the whole week. Love needs honesty, kindness, and responsibility.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe mull over this week.
Yeah. The week demands courage. We've established that. But maybe the most courageous step isn't always that big, bold, impulsive action the Aries moon might push for.
What then?
What if, sometimes, the most courageous thing is actually vulnerability? Being truly responsible, totally transparent in a relationship, even if that means facing an imperfect outcome. Maybe that's the real courage this week asks for.